Hey guys, how have you been? Oh my goodness. Um, you know what? I hope you guys have been doing well, and I appreciate your energy so much and your presence here. It has just been, it's been a combination of creating all the things, spending time at the ocean. Mercury went retrograde in Taurus, and I think it's really important. First of all, when you receive messages from spirit, your ancestors, your higher self, you understand when it's time to be quiet, when it's time to rest. I was just getting such a strong message of, you know, do as little as possible in the way of your voice as far as coming to the end of the Mercury retrograde in Taurus. There was a lot of grounding down, a lot of activations that we had in the solar eclipse and lunar eclipse season. Our first eclipse season in 2023, and it was just huge. I mean, the rarity and the power and the solar flares, and I mean, we could make a whole list of all of these energetic activations that Aries season brought in. We even had, the two moons back to back in Aries season as well. So it's just been a powerful time, and had to kind of reserve my energy. And Mercury, y'all, everybody's so fast to hate on Mercury retrograde, and it's not. Nothing is the bad guy anyway. And that's just the wisdom of how you perceive anything. But I always explain, I've also, you guys have been doing a lot of one-on-one work. I am getting ready to travel again next week. And so I'm, just one-on-one work, natal charts, tarot, preparing for a private event that's going to happen in the weekend as well. And I'll, you can check me out on all, Facebook, Instagram, all the good things on the website if you want to reach out. But I've just been creating, and so that's a beautiful blessing too. Sometimes when we quiet ourselves, we can channel that creative flow. And so I've kind of rotated between having a health issue, which is totally fine. I'm totally fine. Thank you so much if you send me good love and energy. If you're in my, closer inner circle, but all is well. So resting, caring for myself, and then channeling energy into creativity. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I made these candles for Hathor. I've been working with dragonflies and dragons, and it's just amazing. I'm so filled with gratitude. But yeah, it's, Mercury in retrograde ain't the bad guy. And I always tell people that. And if you do one-on-ones with me, if you're watching this, Mercury retrograde is like a divine GPS navigation. Okay. Everybody's like, oh no, Mercury. Now I will tell you, inevitably, you will see that communication hiccups will happen. All the things with the internet and the connection, all these different things, reroutes, all this stuff. But I always encourage people to remember that a Mercury retrograde is a gift, because we are in this avatar, this body, and our soul is inhabiting this body. We're doing this whole this divine dance, and we're working through these karmic cycles, these contracts, dharma, karma, all the things. Right? Higher self up here driving the avatar. We got our guide, our team, our ancestors. We have all the things. And so it's like driving on a trip and using navigation. You don't know an accident up ahead. You don't know if you'll save time to get to where you're trying to go mentally, emotionally, spiritually, if you took a different route. There may be a huge energetic impact on you crossing the path of an animal spirit 3 times, but if you weren't late to work, you wouldn't have avoided the crash. You know what I'm saying? Or if you didn't take the detour, you might not have stopped. And you had this whole moment with the owl. And do you get what I'm saying? If you tried to sign the contract 2-3 times, your ancestors interceding and saying, there's a reason you didn't get the email. Your higher self, we are receiving all this guidance. It's so funny. It's like someone praying to be rescued from a storm, and they keep getting sent boats and rescue teams, and others like, no, 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 I meditate. No, I will meditate my way out. I'll elevate beyond my. And they're like, can you just get on the fucking boat? So it's much like that with Mercury retrograde. I always encourage people to embrace the ebbs and flows and just roll with it. Mercury retrograde in Taurus was a wonderful way for us to slow down and embody the Taurus energy, and kind of bring these seeds of activation down that have been planted, and preparing us really for quite a week. Mercury is now going direct in Taurus. Is that today or tomorrow? Today's the 15th, by the way. Happy Monday. Yay for, I think Venus is in Cancer now, so that is very nice. Happy Mother's Day to everyone who celebrated. So I love that energy for us and the collective and the divine feminine, the womb of Venus in Cancer. But Mercury is now going direct, still being in Taurus, and then tomorrow we'll actually have Jupiter also move to Taurus. And so we needed time to receive the embodiment of, when things happen, that our solar activations and our light bodies respond and receive. We kind of have to catch up to that in our physical body. It's like a testing meter, your higher self, your team of guidance and spirit and light body guides, all the teams, right? However you identify with your own archetypes. They kind of test it like a flux meter, like, all right, and it's like we're lighting up the inside. Okay, what can we bring into the body? What can we bring into the body? And it's just an ebb and flow. It's just like, especially with Saturn in Pisces for a good while, the whole, as I've mentioned before, warbling between the timelines. Do you know what I mean? We walk before we run. And so we need that time to ebb and flow, to flux, to swim up a little bit, catch the air, come back down. We don't just, okay, look, we'll put a pin in jumping timelines because sometimes you do hit a certain point in your own evolution and how you progress and the work that you do personally. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but we're going to pin that and say that's for other studies. Not right now. But for the most part, you have to safely catch your body up to speed. And so I do love Mercury retrograde in Taurus to help us with that. Because, guys, we have a big week. But it's a big week. And again, it's a continuation of this whole, it's like the fool gets ready to jump off the cliff, but then he kind of, I said this before in another collective video, he's kind of running in place. It's like being in a dream and your mental trying to catch up with like your astral. And, you're like, I was running so fast in the dream and it was like I was in glue and I couldn't, It's very much like that because we're trying to catch up. And so now, we're going to have, Mercury again is going to go direct, and then pretty soon it'll be Gemini season. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but that is very mercurial in itself. So we will find our, our pathways in our brain. I don't want to get too vocabulary heavy, but our pathways in our brain are going to be lighting up as these seeds trickle down from the soul star through the crown chakra as we've received them. Jupiter wants to expand in Taurus season how we open up to the wisdom that these seeded activations want to bring into our body, into this timeline to help us with the jump and then the catch up, So there's going to be more fleshing out of this energy this week because tomorrow, so I think the big hitters was, Jupiter is going to move into Taurus. That's going to happen tomorrow on the 16th. Mercury is direct in Taurus. We will have Mars go into Leo right after we have the new moon in Taurus on the 19th. So in the middle of this, on the 17th, we are going to have what we call a fixed grand cross. Some people may say a fixed grand square. We call it fixed because this square, I don't have a chart to show you, but the square or the cross is happening at all the fixed points, okay, all the fixed signs. Excuse me, with Jupiter and Taurus, Mars and Leo, and we'll have South Node Scorpio, North Node Taurus, and Pluto retro in Aquarius. So these are our fixed points that will be squaring each other, and the energy is, squaring up. Imagine that, times 4, and it's all the fixed signs. So, and these fixed signs are at 0 degree. So it's just an intense energetic cross. And if any of you have done the, I did a batch of cardinal cross ritual candles. And I also did another made to order custom batch. So I've been working on these cardinal cross candles, and this was the precursor to this energy, because we're going to arrive at this fixed grand cross. And this is going to be fleshing out this week. It is, again, it's kind of like, I heard one astrologer refer to it as like a big old stop at a busy intersection of energy, of how we are growing, of how we are healing, of what we are letting die, what we are nurturing to grow. Again, Jupiter and Taurus, Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is one of the fixed points. And of course, that is just the embracing, oh my gosh, Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is the big one. We could really go on and on about it, but it's dying to, releasing, letting go of, being aware in the subconscious, and then doing that process of getting rid of anything that stands with us, realigning with our high. It's kind of like clearing out the gook that would stand in the way of you realigning with your North Star. Reconnecting with that higher self, the micro to the macro, and kind of clearing out not only karma, but a collection of cycles and cycles and cycles that we finally have shifted out of. Remember, we had our lunar eclipse, which closed our May eclipse season after Beltane. We had that in Scorpio. And Scorpio loves to eat up all of the underbelly of the death and transmute it. We have Jupiter and Taurus, which we just talked about, is kind of expanding on the wisdom and the abundance that these seeds of activation received into our light bodies will reverberate out into our physical bodies, literal brain synapse upgrades, I could really nerd out and we could go hard into what I feel the solar activations are giving us. But if you would like to look at your own natal chart, and do one-on-one work with me, I'd be happy to discuss that with you. I think it's more appropriate there, because solar activations and upgrades in the light body are going to reverberate and trickle down and affect everyone differently. It really depends on where you are in your healing journey, your knowing yourself, your evolution journey, right? So it's kind of hard to discuss in depth on a collective video, as I just kind of check in with you guys here for whoever needs it, and keep you posted on the energies. And then we also have Mars and Leo. So, that's that divine masculine. He's kind of been pent up in Cancer. Now he's going to be moving into Leo, and that is an aggressive energy, but it's like pouring gasoline on a fire that's ready to kind of act as a purifying agent in this Grand Cross energy. And then we have South Node Scorpio, North Node Taurus. So, and if you guys follow the nodes of the moon, we will have the nodes changing in July from South Node Scorpio, North Node Taurus. They'll be changing to Aries and Libra. So, these nodes want to, I would say, continue to help us evolve into how the Taurus energy is really helping us. Pluto retro and South Node Scorpio, they can kind of maybe have a similar energy feel, and that, South Node and Scorpio, really wants to kind of wrap its tentacles around, trust issues, repetitive security issue. Anyway, we could really go into that a lot deeper, but I don't want to go too deep with it. But with this fixed Grand Cross, it's going to be really important to embrace that this week is a lot like a crossroads. It's a lot like a slow down, pause energy. And I know, I've been talking to people about this in one-on-one work because we felt it was like choo 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 choo, almost like a Sonic chasing the rings energy with all these Aries activations, all this solar energy, all this, and the rarity, the rarity and the power behind the solar eclipse in Aries has really amplified it. So it's still rippling out. It'll ripple out for the rest of the year, for multiple years, because it was so huge, and it's being amplified again and again, by solar flares that we have going on. But it feels like we were wound up and it was like, I'm ready. But then now we have a lot of this Taurus energy, Mercury in Taurus, Jupiter in Taurus. We're going to have a new moon in Taurus. Uranus is in Taurus. I mean, the North Node is in Taurus. And so now we really have a lot of this energy of, again, I really try to articulate this. It's not a, damn, did I even receive everything that I thought I did? It's kind of interesting because I'm talking about like the Venusian vibes of Taurus, but we have Three of Cups and Queen of Cups that came out here. Because it's not, hold on, Spirit is saying we'll talk about those in a minute. The energy is not a pause. It is not that we did not receive everything. It is not that, wow, did I do something wrong? Am I losing my creative inspiration? And it's not that at all. Again, it is a catch up. And we don't plant seeds and then immediately just, whoa, look at my fruit tree, the next day. We don't do that. And it's not healthy for us to do that either. I mean, yes, we have pockets of moments. We have, powerful moments. We're divine spirit walking in this human form, right? Soul energy. And we do have those moments. I'm not going to say they don't exist, but we didn't sign up and contract with this 3D experience and this timeline, on this, not timeline, let's say dimension. It's just not the way that we signed up to do it. And it wouldn't be healthy. So our bodies just need the stop. We actually need the pause of this crossroads, of this grand fixed cross or square energy. We do. We need clear perspective, and we need embodiment. We need, Taurus gives us discipline. Taurus likes simplicity. It's very much an energy of like, well, what am I going to do with all of this now? And we don't wake up the next day after these type of energies and say, well, everything has just been revealed to me. I mean, to a certain extent, probably your crown chakra does. And you are the I am, right? You're a divine source walking in form. So do you know? Yes. Do you understand it all? Absolutely. But that's not how we walk it out in this dimension, so to speak. So it's good for us. It's good for us to have all of these planets in Taurus. It's good for us to digest. I can't really stress enough, really embracing like reflection. Really, I used this analogy in someone's reading the other day of saying that when they teach warriors in certain, I don't know, you could say Kung Fu, you could say, Qigong, you could, these type of disciplines, right? They teach the warriors before you can do anything else, before you can learn, crazy level, fighting skills, hand to hand, all these things, right? You learn form. You are repeatedly trained in the form of how to stand solidly on your feet, connected to the earth, and feel the energy flowing through your body, connecting you to the earth. You're taught constantly how to hold your back in the right position, how to deal with your spine, connecting to your feet to the earth. And this feels, and it seems in my mind, very Taurus, right? Because we can stick with me here, okay? So let's say like you're Neo and you plug in and you're you're getting downloads, right? Okay, but do you remember that even though they could immediately download, appropriate for the example, let's say Kung Fu into Neo, right? He couldn't plug back into that dimension. And then do you remember he still had to be trained, and he was a little salty about it until he understood he had to embody what the download was. And, you know, do you remember the movie? Okay. He had to go with this process to understand before he could really call down what he downloaded and then put it into practice in real time. You know, if I remember the movie correctly, we're not going to talk about how many times I've watched it. I'm sure you're not, you know, that surprised by that. He took some good hits from his teacher. You know, he had to, again, imagine practicing these warrior skills. And this is much the same when we receive downloads in spirit and then we practice them in real time. And we take some kicks to the gut and we fall down. We probably spit out some blood, and then we got to do that a few rounds before we integrate what it is that we have. And this is spiritual, this is emotional, and it can be physical too. So we again, I go back to the reference about the warrior has to learn, and they will literally train them taking a hit. The difference between if you're not grounded properly on your feet from the base all the way up through your spine, you can't, you know, it doesn't matter what kind of hit you take, it's going to knock you every time. But they illustrate the difference, and I've seen it in some videos where if you correct your stance and you are able to ground, we'll say for their sake, your chi, your energy connected to the earth, you can absorb so many things and they will not rock you. I mean, it's fascinating to watch the punches, the kicks, the hits, the things they take, how they're able to dodge and move because they teach them so much repetition. And it's so funny because it's kind of like, you know, hey, I thought I came here to learn Kung Fu. And it's like, no, you have to be fully grounded in the earth. So again, use that in reference in your mind to all of these planets being in Taurus after we've received so many activations in our light body. We have to be patient with ourselves. So I would encourage you to, there may be some tension. We may be feeling some pressure. We may be feeling, Mars and Leo especially, we may be feeling, we want to go. We want to do the thing. You know, Mars and Leo, again, that's gas on gasoline with some fire on top, you know, and if you have major hitters, major placements in your own natal chart and your own astrology, your energetic signature in the fixed signs, you're going to be feeling some tension this week. You could even take it down to a more detailed degree, and if you need my help, I would love to help you. Feel free to contact me and we can work together. However, you can even look at like the degree points of where these fixed planets fall in your chart to kind of hone in and better understand where you may be feeling these energies and where that's leading you, how it's helping you grow, how it's helping you leave old karmic cycles behind, and you know, how you can practice that. Good Taurus energy loves to grab a hold of a plan and say, let's make it simple. You know, Mars in Leo would love to help you execute it and say, let's fucking do the shit, you know. So embrace the stop, embrace the pause, embrace the crossroads energy this week. It's all in how you frame your perspective. You know, Mercury, our messenger, our crown chakra, our mental activity, our perception of reality, our communication, you know, also our throat chakra is still in Taurus. So it's helping us simplify our thinking patterns, like not overcomplicating the whole thing. So it's good to do breath work this week. It is good to journal the things that you are having kind of maybe some big revelations on. Reflection, you know, we are in the waning moon. We're going to be approaching the new moon there towards the end of the week in Taurus. But it's just a good time to, I guess I would say, with all this Taurian energy, stop and smell the roses. You know what I'm saying? Taurus is Venus ruled. And it is good to remind ourselves what things are beautiful, what things are simple. We still have time to really bask in, I would say, that Venus ruled Taurus energy that says delight in your senses. Maybe you're making this more complicated than it needs to be. And again, just because a warrior is not doing, executing X amount of moves per minute and just baffling you with this doesn't mean that they don't possess that capability. But it is a time to reroute, I guess I'm trying to say. So we're just saying, like, reroute yourself to the connection of the earth. Find your footing in the remainder of this Taurus season. And I do love that we have the Three of Cups and the Queen of Cups. The thing about the Queen of Cups is everyone looks to the High Priestess, and everyone's like, well, and it's true to a certain degree. The High Priestess is just the most intuitive, divine feminine energy in the deck. However, the second most intuitive is the Queen of Cups, and she leads with her heart, and that's the strong seat of her intuition. So we are receiving really huge attunements in our emotional intelligence, our ability to be compassionate, our ability to balance being very feeling, emotional, intuitive beings, but also strong, grounded, powerful beings. This is being calibrated right now. So it's important, and I say that because, I mean, even as an example, I spent a majority of yesterday at an art festival, and it was beautiful, and that's a big Three of Cups energy, excuse me. So delighting yourself and your senses is the best way. Joy, laughter, also wonderful ways to calm your nervous system. Let's calm our nervous systems, because we're going to Gemini season and our brain's going to be lit up, but I'm not getting ahead to that right now. It's a wonderful time to celebrate what delights your senses, as your emotional intelligence, as your heart chakra, your third eye. They establish reconnection with one another. What's flipping out here? The Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is actually a wonderful symbol, a symbolic card, rather, of all of these light body activations we've been receiving. So we have Queen of Cups and Queen of Wands, because now these are both very passionate cards, but they're very passionate cards in different ways. The Queen of Cups leads with her heart and her emotional intelligence. The Queen of Wands leads with her self-expression. And these, I don't want to say impulsivity. We just need to be careful, because we can swing on the shadow side of impulsivity, especially with Mars and Leo. But it's more like not playing it small when you show up into the room, and understanding how to translate your intensity and your passion into... I want to say pursuing your dreams, but it sounds kind of cheesy. But really, I do love to see both of these queens come out, especially again with Mars and Leo, but also with Venus and Cancer. We are integrating a lot right now. Just want to reiterate that we are integrating a lot. We have to be patient with ourselves. We really need to embrace ebb and flow. We really need to be connected to the earth. But we need to laugh. We need to celebrate. We need to create. Creating is a wonderful thing to do right now with all this energy. And it gives us a channel to let off some of the steam of the fire, of the burning, of the purification process, because that comes along with also, receiving a lot of incoming type of fire energy. So be easy with yourself this week. I would encourage you. Embrace the pause, but choose your perspective. If you're focused on really, really pressuring yourself, oh my gosh, why is this not coming to fruition right now? Why can't I go faster? Why am I'm not doing more? I'm not, I made the plans for X, Y, and Z. It's not, I need to, but we have to chop wood. We have to carry water. Again, Taurus season, lots of planets in Taurus this week want to help us. Chop wood, carry water, but it's a beautiful thing when you do it right. And that's just daily living. That is humaning. I was going to say spirit saying humaning. That's humaning at its finest. Queen of Wands energy is also adventurous energy too. So everyday life and the way you kind of do it like a dance is part of the adventure of these integrations, of this growth. I mean, what would be the point? Okay, it was just Mother's Day, right? What would be the point of having kids if you had a kid and then the kid was 20 the next day? What's the point in that? There's no joy. There's no celebration. There's no fumbling. There's no learning to walk. There's no laughter about the first thing said. There's no... We kind of embrace... We embrace, especially with a fixed brand cross like this, we embrace these energy of pauses because they give us time to breathe. They give us time to celebrate just the living part of these wild, beautiful, next level of vibrational type energies that we have in our solar system right now, in our collective energy, in the collective astrology. After all, they're just metaphors for much deeper things, as within, so without, right? So, it's okay to just be easy with yourself, but also to celebrate yourself. Please do remember Venusian energy that rules Taurus. Remember delicious, lovely, healthy foods. Now, Taurus wants you to be healthy, take good care of your body. Your body is so important, as is any earth sign. Reminds you of embodiment, okay? But we can delight in doing that. The tasks that we need to do, we can make them simple and see the beauty in doing them. We can find joy in our sacred space, or how we celebrate life every day, even when it is hard work. And hard work is good for us, contrary to what a lot of people these days would probably say. But I definitely love all of this Taurus energy. But stay grounded this week, because there is definitely going to be some tension out there. But I look forward to us moving towards the new moon in Taurus on the 19th. I'm excited as we continue to, I keep saying this in a lot of things that I'm sharing and writing, they're seeds. They're seeds. We grow the seeds. We celebrate when the hibiscus, when the yellow rose, when the tiger lily and the sunflower just... they stop you dead in your tracks of the beauty in the summer. Have you ever driven past a fucking sunflower field? I mean, literally, well, I do weird shit to stop and look at flowers every single day because that's who I am. But it makes you want to stop what you're doing and admire the flowers. Okay, but the flowers didn't just open up like that overnight. You know what I'm saying? Someone toiled over those seeds, the process of nature, the daily things, the watering, the sun, the integration of the sun into the plants, the strength of the roots, the working of the soil. Going through some probably multiple days. It's like, I'm so thirsty. Oh my God, are we going to get rain? What the hell? And then maybe going through a week where you have nothing but rain. Oh my God. It's all a process. And so it's okay for us to delight in that process and remember a lot of things that make us feel joy and that remind us of abundance are so simple. And the more that we work on healing ourselves and knowing ourselves, calibrating ourselves to our highest and best evolution. It's a process, but we work on it every day. It's like a superpower to be able to weave joy and to weave especially simple joy. When you understand simple abundance, simple basic joy, you have richness that cannot be stolen from you. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of seeds that are being planted within us right now are returning us, but also what a Spirit is saying, calibrating us to a higher frequency of understanding of how powerful these concepts are. It's definitely big Jupiter and Taurus energy right there. So be gentle with yourselves this week Thank you so much for being here in the space with me, or any other space you may share with me. I will be, you can always look to my Facebook business page. You can look to my Instagram, my website. I'm super excited about this batch of candles and offerings that are coming up this coming weekend. It's going to be another crazy week. I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be creating. But you know what? I'm an Aquarius sun and moon and a Leo rising. I have a lot of air and fire in my chart. So honestly, I'm full of gratitude because I would have it no other way. And the fact that I'm able to do this every day, it dumbfounds me with gratitude sometimes that this is my life. So I really would have it no other way. And I do express gratitude for the time of rest, for the time of honoring my throat and my third eye and just my body for some things that I needed to go through. And it was the full moon in Scorpio too was really deep, you guys. Whew. But it's a powerful week, but it is powerful in the way that you receive it and in the way that you sit with it. I would encourage you, especially because we have this Pluto retro in Aquarius and this South Node Scorpio, North Node Taurus as two of those fixed points. Really journal and self-reflect on and pay attention to the universe, to the animal spirits, to the synchronicities, of the things that Spirit, your higher self, and your ancestors and team are guiding you to understand. Spirit is saying, we're past the point of, I need to let go of this. Remember we had that big hangman energy right before the full moon. We're past that point now, Spirit is saying. It's kind of like a it is finished type energy. Now we begin to speak affirmations into ourselves. This has been released. It is gone. I have let it go. And now this is what I'm moving into now. This is what I'm growing now. This is what a Spirit is saying. I refuse to have no less than this now. And now, we pull up bootstraps. We celebrate the beauty of everyday life and work. And we begin recalibrating and grasping these new concepts of abundance, these new concepts of wisdom. There has been a lot of cords and attachments. I thought we were going to wrap up here, but I guess Spirit's wanting to still speak. I'm not wanting to cap the message, but there are so many cords. There are so many attachments. There are so many things that have been erased. Again, it's like I was just hearing in my mind the whole it is finished type energy. And now we embody this. Now we grow new seeds where we have created new space to receive. But I was saying this in a post the other day. It's just like the aces in the tarot. The aces show you the seed that has the potential to grow, the inspiration, the revelation, the cup that wants to pour into you so that you can be filled, whatever element you want to take it to there. But the aces are only potential. It matters what you do with it. And the more that we heal, the more that we know ourselves, the more that we grow and discipline ourselves and celebrate and take joy in the process, we take our power back, And then the wounds, the old karmic cycles, the old tethering, hungry, low vibrational energy, all these different things, they can't come in and grab to feed off of that anymore. So another thing about fixed Grand Cross energy is you are every coin has two sides. So just as we are growing, evolving, healing, planting seeds and doing it and celebrating it and drinking to it and toasting to it, there is a whole flip side of that coin that is very angry. It's very polar opposite. I mean, it's duality, right? That as high as the light goes, as deep as the dark goes too, right? So we have awareness of that, but it's nothing to be afraid of because we don't operate in fear. We understand we can sit with fear as a teacher, but we don't claim fear as a lifestyle anymore. So I think I'm going to leave it there, you guys. I'm so happy that I made time today in the middle of doing like 50,000 things, but with contentment in my heart. Would have it no other way. I'm so happy that I came in to check in with you guys. I hope you're all doing so well. you can really, really, really sit down again and just juice the balmy goodness out of the rest of this Taurus season and all these planets in Taurus. Even with this big fixed Grand Cross energy, it's come to serve you. It's doing you a favor. So take good care of yourselves this week. I look forward to talking to you towards the end of the week as the new moon goes into Taurus. If you are ever curious about where to find me, where are my candles, what am I doing, how do you contact me for one-on-one work, please. I'm pretty fairly active on my Facebook business page, my Instagram. You can always check out my website to reach out to me. To do one-on-one work. I love making custom candles and tools as well. I do that all the time. So I look forward to hearing from you guys. And I'm so excited about what this week has to bring for us. So happy Monday to you. And I look forward to talking to you guys soon.